We're going to go ahead and continue with topic 7 here and taking notes in our Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But this time we want to look at how do we find a leg? How do I solve for that leg? And remember, our leg is our a or our b. So with that, how do we know we're looking for a leg? Let's start there as well. Well, remember, find that 90-degree angle. And right across from that 90-degree angle will always be your C. Literally draw the arrow to the C every single time. So we know that C is 14. So are we solving for A or B? It doesn't matter. You pick. Okay, I'm just going to pick A. So this is going to be A. 8 is going to be B. And we have our formula that we know is A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's plug our numbers in. We don't know a, so we can't put anything in there. We know that b is 8, so we're going to put 8 in and we're going to square it, which means times by itself. And then c squared, c is 14. So we're going to put 14 in there and we're going to times it by itself. Draw your line down your equal sign. We are solving equations here and solving for a letter. So now we need to times these, multiply by themselves, square them. So we have a squared, that's what we're looking for, trying to solve. 8 times 8 is 64, and 14 times 14 is 196. And if you didn't watch my first video earlier this week on topic 7, please make sure that you do. Because it's going to show you how you can use your phone as a calculator as well. We need to get A all by itself. Well, the inverse operation of add 64 would be take away 64. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And we have A squared equals 132. That's A times A equals 132. That's not your answer for A. The inverse of squaring a number is taking the square root. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And on your calculator, you would get a decimal, and that's okay, 11.49. So our side length here for A is 11.49. Now, if we review the last set of notes, C always has to be the biggest, which it is. 14 is bigger than 11.49. So that's one way we can kind of check our answer. And again, we know we can use the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because of our 90-degree angle here. You have to have a right angle in order to use the theorem. Let's go ahead and look at one more practice, and remember here we're solving for either A or B, solving for our legs. So here on example 2, yes, we have decimals, that's okay. Let's identify where that right angle is, and here's my right angle, and so across from that right angle is going to be your C value. And so we are going to plug these numbers into our formula here. We're going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know c is 8.7 and we're going to square it. Let's go ahead for this one and just find b. So we know that our a is going to be the 6.2. And we're going to square it. And when we go through these steps, 6.2 times 6.2 times it by itself is 38.44 plus b squared, and 8.7 times 8.7 on your calculator, it's okay to get these decimals, is 75.69. And we want b all by itself, so we are going to subtract that 38.44, remember the opposite of a positive 38.44 would be a takeaway 38.44. so that we get B all by itself. And we have B squared equals 37.25. And remember our very last step, that is B squared. Our very last step is we need to take the square root of both sides. So if we square root both sides, your B is 6.10. And again, if I write that up here for B, remember C is always the longest side, and it is. 8.7 is longer than 6.2 and longer than 6.1. So you have solved correctly for a leg, solving for the leg. So anytime you're solving for the leg, you obviously have the letter C given to you. We use the Pythagorean theorem with right triangles only. And we will continue with the Pythagorean theorem next week, and we will practice this next week. Have a great day.